The square root of a number is a number which multiplied by itself gives us the original number back. The square root of 25 is 5 because 5 times 5 equals 25, which is the original number. The square root of 49 equals 7 because 7 times 7 equals 49, the original number. Here's a question. What is the square root of -1? What number multiplied by itself will give us -1? 1 times 1 equals 1. -1 times -1 also equals 1. There is no real solution to this question. In other words, there is no real number that multiplied by itself will give us -1. We call the square root of -1 an imaginary number and designate it by a lowercase I. Incidentally, the square root, the symbol, is called a radical and looks like this. Now, let's go back and look at the square roots that we talked about. The square root of 25 is 5. So, square root of 25 times square root of 25 is 25. The square root of 49 is 7, so the square root of 49 times the square root of 49 equals 49. In other words, the square root of a number multiplied by the square root of the same number gives us the number. So, we can say the square root of -1 times the square root of -1 equals -1. Now, isn't that really interesting? That the square root of -1, which is an imaginary number, multiplied by itself, the square root of -1, gives us -1, which is a real number. In other words, an imaginary number multiplied by an imaginary number gives us a real number. Symbolically written, the square root of -1 is lowercase I, and the square root of -1 times the square root of -1, which is I times I, or I squared, equals -1, a real number. Something to ponder about.